Immortalised for their prowess and fortitude, World War II had no shortage of legendary tank crews and talented individuals who bolstered the collective effort of coordinating their machines in the heart of battle. Two panzer aces together make up the Reichs' domination of every position on the top three podium. At third place stands the Black Baron Michael Wittman, credited with more than 138 tank kills as the commander of a Tiger I between 1941 and 1944. He was definitely one of the greats. As would be second place Otto Carius, destroyer of 150 tanks and rather unbelievably responsible for shooting down a Soviet IL-2 with his Tiger I on the Eastern Front in late 1943. However, there is one man who has largely been forgotten. His legacy as the de facto best tank ace of all time, outshone by the cult figure status of his other comrades-in-arms. His name? Kurt Knipsel. Born in Czechoslovakia, the undisputed greatest of all time, would never grow up to receive rightful acclaim for what he had accomplished during the war. Known for his rough, unkept appearance, the ace simply did not fit into the propagandised ideal of what a Nazi soldier should represent. Discounting his nonconformist aesthetic, Knipsel was also not a man who sought out approval and never suffered from sore throat, lingo for a soldier who craved for the Knight's Cross. Indeed, it was very common for Kurt to step away from the limelight, often crediting kills to other inexperienced crewmen to boost their confidence. A true rebel and maverick at heart, Knipsel neither cared for National Socialism and the authority of his superiors. He was no Nazi. He was even reported to have assaulted an Eisengruppen officer in Krakow, whom he had seen mercilessly beating a Soviet POW. This major infraction would have landed the vast majority of high-ranking officers in military prison. But as we are about to document, Knipsel's heroic accolades and skilled capability on the battlefield made him simply too good not to be used on the front line. Without doubt an indispensable asset, he was one of the few men who could dare to stand up for the greater moral good. His story in tankcraft began at the Panzer Replacement Training Facility in Poland, where he would train on the Panzer I, II and IV. Knipsel would then transfer to 3rd Company on the 29th Panzer Regiment. Lasting until June 1941, he would graduate as a highly adept loader and gunner in a Panzer V. Knipsel's immediate service would come during Operation Barbarossa under the command of Lieutenant Hellman, seeing him partake in actions from Yatsevo all the way to Stalingrad. After returning to Germany near the end of January in 1943, he had already been credited with 12 tank kills. During his time back training in the homeland, he would be introduced to Tiger I, becoming incredibly proficient with the devastatingly capable tank. Knipsel would go on to fight at the Battle of Kursk as a member of the 12th Panzer Division, the flanking unit under the 503rd Heavy Panzer Battalion, which had been assigned to provide support for the 7th Panzer Division. During the battle, he would take down a staggering 27 T-34s, a number he racked up due to his lethal combination of the hefty 88 tank gun of the Tiger and his talented skills as a gunner. Knipsel was even documented to have taken out a T-34 from a distance of 3,000 meters away, or 328 yards for our American viewers. If true, it would have been the longest recorded tank shot in all of World War II. Following the battle, the ace was then transferred from the Eastern Front to serve in the retreat from Normandy, before again returning to fight the Soviet advance. By the time of his death, following a severe wound from shrapnel after a Soviet tank had made a hit on his Tiger II, a mere 10 days before the end of the war, the late ace had received the Iron Cross First Class and Second Class, Tank Assault Badge for his 100th battle, and the German Cross in Gold. During his service, Knipsel destroyed a minimum of 168 tanks, with some figures putting it up to 195. As a result of his modest approach in claiming kills, even Nazi disdain against his unconventional character couldn't ignore these achievements. Because of this, Knipsel became the only non-commissioned officer of the tank army to ever be named in the Wehrmacht radio for the Daily Armed Forces report. Though he was never awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves, as had Wittman and Carius, his legacy as the best panzer ace of all time cannot be disputed.